All right. Hello, welcome back. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel. And as you do, hit the bell so you don't miss out on every single notification of when I upload. And don't forget to share this out. Share this premiere with your loved ones, with your classmates, with your colleagues, anyone who enjoys a good YouTube video here and there. So today is going to be a big day. I'm going to be visiting my father today. Today marks 5 years since he passed, and every year since, tend to visit him like twice a year. Visit him for his birthday, and I visit him for the anniversary of his passing. I used to visit 3 times a year, but I don't celebrate holidays, and that sometimes didn't include Father's Day. But I still visit, get some time. And I'm gonna have to do this quick because we're running a little late, but that's okay. We're still gonna make it and bring you along. Today is gonna be a very somber day, but hopefully with this, there can be a clear message that can come through about how we keep one's memory alive, how we continue to show honor and love to those who we lost and who we keep in our memories for years to come. Let's get going. It's getting late. Let's go. I had to stop in to Walgreens to get him this. I always, when I come to visit, every single time without fail, always make sure to never come empty-handed. I think it's just least I can do. So now we can officially head over to his resting place.
2 hours later.
And here we are. So finally arrived. So here we go. So I got a chance to see him. I didn't spend nearly as much time with him as I wanted, but got a chance to see him, and it was really necessary. I got a doctor's appointment to get to, so let's just go.
Later that same evening.
And that was it for today. The rest of the day was pretty much super stressful, dealing with the Chicago traffic, and I'm just reminded multiple times again and again as to why I take the routes that I take to get to places. Unfortunately, to visit my father today, I had to take the interstate, but that would not be my preference had he been a little closer. Yeah, I got my pearls on still. I haven't taken them off yet. Even though it's been 5 years, just wish she was still here. And I typically go on those visits by myself, just for a sense of having that one-on-one time, and without judgment too. Definitely without judgment. We would have our conversations, or I would come bearing, some flowers, or 8 flowers sometimes, just depends. And I make sure to, in the moment, I make sure to look my best. Today I was not given as much time to prepare. Not to mention, with it being the first week of classes, it was a bit jarring to juggle being jet lagged from the Vegas trip, the first day of classes, and then what you didn't see was the second day of classes was so much busier because of all the classes being back to back to back to back to back to back. And then today being, the day I have to visit, spend some time. So you can only imagine how spent I feel right now. I actually even took a nap when I came back. I did not do much of anything since coming back home. I may have watched the news for a few minutes after the nap. Because before, nobody better speak to me. But unfortunately, when you're a person like me who struggles with feeling and being very much alone in the world, especially when one person that you really care so much about, and someone who really did have your best interests at heart despite their own shortcomings, no longer being here, you're no longer able to call them, they're no longer able to call you, or at least in the conventional manner. Even 5 years, 10 years, 20 years later, it can still feel very fresh, and for me, it still feels extremely fresh. I remember the day of getting that call saying that he passed away, and I remember exactly where I was when I received the notification. And it was just so jarring. I mean, there's some things that I'll never be able to forget, and that was one of those things. And to this day, I'm still grieving, because my grieving process is unwavering. It has been unwavering. I don't know if it's just the fact that it's unique. I don't know if it's the fact that I don't take change well. I don't take loss well, which all of those are facts. But what I do know is that this person is still missed. Think about him so much. That's why I take that time to make the 2.5 hour drive to his resting place at least twice a year. He's worth at least that much, if nothing at all. I make sure to dress up. This isn't just for fanfare, like the jewelry, the accessories, all of that. It's actually because I want to be presentable. And while visiting, it's an additional layer to the respect that I show to you for human life. And for the life that, whose legacy that I tend to hold true. So I'll visit him again for his birthday. So if you do have a chance, and if you have a loving and amazing relationship with your parents, if you do, then feel free to give them a call. They'll love to hear from you. Feel free to just say hi. And I don't mean in a text message either. Back in my day, our method of communication with parents was always by phone or in person. So I'm pretty sure even though you can text them, actually pick up the phone and dial the number and listen to the phone ring on the other side. And then when they pick up the phone, and then you can say, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad." I'm pretty sure they would appreciate that. I just wish that people would make time for those who they say that they love. And then if you don't have a good relationship with your parents, that's okay. If you are prioritizing your well-being over a relationship with anyone, even if it's your parents who are not receptive to having a tough conversation about their behaviors and how harmful it is, or how, how much you would like to be in a better place. You don't necessarily have to still have them in your life, but to at least put everything on the table, to be able to leave it there, to be able to know that you're being heard, and to know that they care enough to hear you and to acknowledge your point of view, your experiences, and to validate them. Despite how we can feel about what we give to our children and how we treat our children, a lot of times the children's memory of what they endured as a product of being in your space as a parent, their memory is more sharp. more times than not. Not to mention certain things that are egregiously harmful should at least be given context and an explanation. Hopefully there can be a day where I can feel just a little bit less grief from this. And despite it being 5 years, despite it being long enough, anything of that sort, I don't know if it ever will. And then in my case, being parentless is really not a good feeling. One parent is not here involuntarily. The other parent is not willing to be here. Within this space and this realm, without having to rewrite reality. It's an awful feeling. But no longer will I prioritize maintaining an unhealthy relationship with a violent and toxic individual. And no longer will I place my own well-being on a back burner. No longer will I be subjected to overlooking my own experiences just to meet the expectations of those who do not know me or do not know any of my struggles when it comes to certain people who I have chosen to still love, but at such a far distance that they would have to travel at least 5,000 miles to get to me. That's the kind of distance that I insist on keeping. And if it means going the rest of life without without a person who believes they do absolutely no wrong, then so be it. Then so be it. This wraps up this episode. I hope that you took away something from it. I wouldn't necessarily say enjoy because it was a somber episode. The journey for liberation for me is never going to be easy. It's never going to be joyous. It's never going to be just happy. There will be moments, there will be chapters, there will be pages where there are bouts of everything. Bouts of success, bouts of anger, bouts of setbacks, bouts of trials and error, and bouts of happiness. There will be bouts of it. But the journey will be beyond anything that words can ever describe. I try not to be verbose with wrapping up, but I believe in my heart of hearts that context never hurts. But thank you for watching this episode. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. And as you do, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of my notifications of whenever an episode will be uploaded. In addition, don't forget to leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Love to know what you think of this episode. And don't forget to hit the like button. It'll push this content out. But thank you again, and share this out with your network. And last but absolutely not least, if you or anyone is dealing with loss or grief or even mental health crises, there is help out there. Please contact the National Crisis Hotline. The number is 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or if you are in the U.S., you can dial the 3 digits 988, whether as a phone call or as a text message, and you will receive support and be connected with a trained professional. You don't have to go through grief alone. You don't have to go through it all by yourself. And the last thing I would ever want anyone to do who's dealing with the loss of a loved one is to go through it by yourself. You don't have to. And that it's okay to navigate the grieving process to the best of your ability, however long it takes, how many times you may have to cycle through certain, steps in certain chapters of grief. However long that it takes, it is perfectly fine. There is no one way to grieve. There's no one way to navigate it. There's no time limit. There is no levels of intensity to be expected. You don't have to go through every single step. You don't have to go through any of the steps. And you don't have to go through none of them. You can go through all. And even occasionally at the same time. There's no one way to do it. And I hope that everyone is taking something away from this. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Be good. Go,